Major Slack Videos.
But yeah, the name is Slack. Thanks for coming back. Let's walk through some more Outer Worlds. Well, let's finish it off. I just lied and persuaded my way through to the end of the game without taking a single shot. Let's see if we can reproduce this. I finally figured out the exact right dialogue choices to make with Sofia Akande. I've never done this before. I've always just abandoned the holographic shroud and my dialogue skills and just ended up fighting my way to the end of the game. Let's see if I can do this again. Yeah, we have pretty powerful dialogue skills, and that damned, because I have my inventory all nicely arranged. Okay, here we go. Okay, dialogue suit. On lies, actually it's Persuade that's going to be doing all the heavy lifting here. Maybe some lock picking. That's it, that's all we need. Okay, let's go. Now we've got an ID cartridge so we can get into a lot of areas. Just walk right in. As soon as we arrive, a team from the Groundbreaker is going to start squaring off these guys. Let's just wait till they...
Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardad.
Go. I don't want to get hit. Yeah, go get him.
What was that?
Go get him, Groundbreakers. Yeah, I don't want to take any enemy damage here.
Dump the bodies for the rest of the garbage.
Somebody's getting zapped pretty good. Okay, you done? Guess I should have just enough juice to get right up here, get past this guy, open the door, and the elevator's just down to the right. There, we made it. Okay. Okay, so our holographic shroud will recharge. Okay, here we go. Okay, through here. Out of my way. Don't waste my holographic shroud. Actually, it doesn't matter. We'll just lie. Although every time we get caught lying, it's going to become more and more difficult. Remember, rephrase that. Every time we get caught, the lie check will get more and more difficult. Okay, into the pit. Okay, we're going there. This is the only time I think we have to pick a lock. Lock picking gear on. Levels up. Trying to remember whether I got more mileage out of actually it doesn't matter. Let's just do this right now. Okay, 10 more points into dialogue, of course. Oh, I can't do that. Oh yeah, this is what I did. I put 10 points into Persuade. There we go. Now Persuade is my strong suit. Put the Persuade hat on, and this should put us just short of 100. Yeah, there we go. So if you take like a caffeinated drink, we could get it over 100. There we go, 104. So we can actually pass that final Persuade 100 check with Sofia Akande, if I can remember to take the caffeinated drink just before I meet her, which I often forget. But then there's another series of dialogue choices you can make, even if you can't make the Persuade 100 check. For that, you only need Persuade 85. Let's see if we can pull this off. Okay, somebody's gonna have to validate our parking on the way over there because our holographic shroud is gonna run out. Right around here. Okay, there's the guy just stopped to my right here. You there? Can you validate my parking, please?
Hey, move along.
Hello? Yeah, here we go.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Her voice sounds familiar. I think that's one of the other characters. I'm trying to place it. Oh, I know who it is. It's that, uh-oh. Uh-oh! Jig is up! She's gonna blow! Quick! Run for your life! Oh, hang on a second. It's, I got a roast in the oven. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's that woman in the beginning with the garden there, I forget the name of it, back in Edgewater. The one that has the unique sniper rifle that we always kill to get. Anywho, I was hired to test your security procedures. Congratulations, you passed.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir.
I'll be sure to pass this on to your supervisor. Carry on.
Much appreciated. I'll get out of your way.
Atta girl. Okay, so got a fresh set of downs here. And we have to go through here, right?
Soldier?
Should have just enough to get to that guy's room. Okay, hit up the terminal. Unsealed door. Okay, persuade suit is on.
Well, look who it is.
Well, look who it is.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Chairman Rockwell, I presume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Please. Phineas would rather die than cooperate.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
That crackpot is saving the frozen colonists you gave up on.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
Okay, you know, I wouldn't have to if you'd be more cooperative about all this.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
Listen, with your resources and some of the folks on the Hope, we could do a lot. That's Persuade 85. There we go.
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Good. Maybe some good can come after. Blah, good. Maybe some good can come out of you after all. Very good. So we're allowed to pass. Good day, sir. Machine. And take the elevator up again. Okay, we have to get there. We should have just enough holographic shroud to get there.
I don't see what the fuss is about a blasted lab coat.
Fugitive's a fugitive. Let it go.
The chairman...
Come on. Yeah, it should just get around the corner. There you go. Haha. Great, it's gonna recharge. And this is where we talk to Sofia. So now let's gobble down a couple of these so that the effects stack, so I'll have time to talk to her. Let's say 5. That should put my persuade over 100.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
It's over, Sofia. Stand down.
I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for manipulation, but I warn you, I'm no easy mark.
This is pretty funny. The game's pretty
For
much
all
telling
your
you.
talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy.
The game's pretty much saying, okay, we know you've got high persuasion skills. That's pretty cool. I'm here for Phineas. Let him go.
You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Come on, let's talk about this.
Fair enough.
There we go. Persuade
I'm
100.
giving you exactly one chance to parley with me.
Okay. You don't want to die on Tartarus. I'm giving you a chance to walk away.
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on.
Okay, so I passed that. Now I'm completely in the dark here. I don't know what to do next. I had this whole routine or like procedure for what to do if you couldn't pass the Persuade 100 check. Now it's just okay, nothing stopped me so far. What makes you think you will? Don't be stupid, Sofia. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. You have absolutely no chance. Let's go for number 1. Nothing stopped me so far. What makes you think you will?
Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead. Yet here you stand. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
Okay, let's go for like the calm responses. For example, the board's not worth dying for.
There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you. You've thrown this system into disarray. Cleaning up your mess will be the work of a lifetime. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Okay, here we go. Persuade 85, we can pass that, and Science 85, we can pass that. Dr. Wells and I are both scientists. We believe the Halcyon can still be saved.
I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return. The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now.
Okay, so now we're back on track with the procedure I had. It's going exactly as planned. So now the correct response is number 2. It's going to take a miracle to save Halcyon, but we can do it if we work together.
I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together.
Next should be a temperate check.
I haven't given up on the
Or
program
a temperament
yet.
check.
You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the
There we
labyrinth
go.
yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you.
There you go. Temperament. Mr. Momo. Temperament check. You're getting flustered. Accept that you've lost and walk away with dignity.
I don't know if I can do that. I had a duty to protect Halcyon, and I failed. If I walk away now, I'll be remembered as a coward.
And then the choice I made in a practice run that was successful was number 1. You'll be remembered as a soldier who did her duty, nothing more and nothing less.
You've made your point. I've done all I can for this colony. If I'm going to stand down, I should do so with a modicum of grace. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
I wonder what would happen if he said, drop the honorable adversary act and fuck off already. I'll try that another time, because I'm not ready for the Ram boss fight. So I really want to get through this without having to take a shot. Like I said, okay, so let's go with thank you. I'm glad we could settle this without violence.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell, Captain.
There, we did it. Got through without taking a shot. Pick up her key. And free Phineas. And yeah. That's it. Beat the game.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you alright? What did they do to you?
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Anybody else do a double take at this point in the game and think to themselves, what? I thought this was the end of the game. There's like actually more game to go. I was like, what? You kidding? Great, and I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Well, we have a lot of work ahead of us. 10 more missions, 20 more side missions. Let's get started.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Okay, I've always been tempted to do number 4. I usually choose number 3, but I think I'm going to go for number 4 just for the hell of it. I'm going to do what I've always done, whatever I want, all the time.
I doubt I could change your mind even if I wanted to. You've already done more than I could ask of you.
True.
When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts. And when the sulfur clouds settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later, when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor, underneath the floor of the Edgewater cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Ellie savored her adventures on the Unreliable. Once they were done, she returned to life as usual, running missions of dubious legality, shunning respectable work, and living life to the fullest. She meant to reach out to her one-time captain, but she was always bad at keeping in touch. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sofia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sofia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and left Dr. Wells to his own devices. The affairs of the colony never distracted you from living out your own dreams, to captain a ship, to sail the ether, and to earn a reputation as the greatest spacer Halcyon ever had. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
That's all, folks. Hey, that's it. That's the end of the game. But I am not done with this game, not by a long shot. There's actually a whole other quest line to do where you betray Phineas and it takes you on a completely different route. And yeah, I love this game. I think it's fantastic. And there are more Outer Worlds videos coming up. I have a couple or three special videos coming up next week. So yeah, stay tuned and stay slack. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on Monday for more Outer Worlds special video coming up. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page, and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.